Hello friends, today I am going to narrate a story. I know from kids till adults, everyone loves to listen to the stories. So today what story I am going to tell you know? It is The Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which was written by Walt Disney. This story has a very good moral. It tells us good life skills also. So let us go into the story. Everyone are eager to listen to the story. So let me start to narrate this story. One snowy night in a castle, a little princess was born. Her parents named her as Snow White. This little princess, as years passed by, she became a young woman. She looked so beautiful. Her beauty and her gentle nature won the hearts of everyone who knew her. After Snow White's father passed away, she lived in that castle with her stepmother. The stepmother also looked so beautiful, but she was cold and heartless. She was jealous of Snow White's beauty also. So she dressed the princess in rags and she forced her to do the work as a maid in her house. The queen's most priceless possession was a magic mirror. She used to stand in front of the mirror and she asks, "Who is the fairest one in all?" And the mirror used to reply, "It's you, the queen, the fairest one in the land." While the queen spent most of the time in admiring herself, there Snow White used to work long hours in her house. She often did her chores with a smile on her face and singing song, enjoying the work. One day, when she fetched water from the well, she sang a song of her fondest dream. She wished a handsome princess comes to the castle and takes her away. "Please make my wish come true," whispered Snow White. No sooner she said these words, came a prince. Snow White was shy to see his eyes. The prince fall in love instantly and Snow White ran to the castle. She got frightened and for her safety she ran. That evening, as usual, the queen asked the mirror, "Mirror, mirror, can you tell me who is the fairest person?" But this time the mirror replied, "Her lips are red, her hair like night, her skin like snow. Her name is Snow White." The queen became so furious and she called for a huntsman. "Tomorrow, take the Snow White to the forest and kill her," she commanded. Then she gave him a jewel box to bring her the proof after he killed Snow White. The huntsman was feared of this evil woman and he promised that he'll do it. The next morning, the huntsman took Snow White deep into the forest. He watched the princess, took a small bird and she placed into the bird's nest. At that moment, the huntsman felt that he could not hurt her because she is kind-hearted. He told the princess, "My dear princess, your stepmother is not a good woman. She is heartless fellow. She asked me to kill you. So you please run away from this place and please don't come back to the castle." Snow White got frightened by these words and she ran and ran until she could run no farther. She sank to the ground and sobbed herself to sleep. The huntsman placed an animal's heart into the jeweled box and presented it to the queen. The evil women rejoiced that it was the Snow White's heart which is inside the jeweled box. "Now I am the fairest person of all," exclaimed triumphantly. What is triumphantly? In a successful way, in a victorious way. When she awoke the next morning, Snow White saw so many animals around her. Curious birds, rabbits, chipmunks, and even Mother Deer and her fawn. She didn't feel alone any longer. She asked the animals, "Do you know a place where I can live?" Two little birds excitedly gave a reply, saying that in the center of the woods, in the center of the forest, there is a little cottage. Snow White followed her new friends to that little cottage. "Oh, it's just a doll house," Snow White exclaimed. Since no one seems to be there, she stepped inside. What a terrible mess inside that house! And she stared by wondering the small chairs inside. That too 7 little chairs. 7 little children live there. She talked to herself. She cleaned the place and made it tidy with the help of the friend. She washed, dusted, she scrubbed everywhere. Soon the cottage was neat and tidy. Snow White went upstairs where she saw 7 little beds lined in a row. Each one had a name carved on it. "What funny names for children," she remarked as she read the names. Happy, Doopy, Grumpy, Sneezy, Bashful, Dog, Sleepy. She yawned. "I'm little sleepy." She fell asleep on the beds. Meanwhile, 7 little men were hurrying to their homes after their hard work in a diamond mine. They sang merrily as they walked on their way to their cottage. Dog led the way with the lantern. Others followed him. As they neared the house, they felt something different in their house. Cautiously, they crept inside. Everything was neat and tidy. Maybe it's Goblin. Maybe it's still here. Only one way to find out, said Grumpy. They climbed up the stairs. But instead of Goblin, they saw Snow White lying on the bed. "It's a girl," declared Dog. By hearing that sound, Snow White got up from bed. She cried when she saw them. "Oh, not little children, you are men." "That's right, but who you are?" they asked. Snow White introduced herself and also explained about the queen, the evil queen. They told, "You can stay with us. We will take care of you." Back at the castle, the queen again inquired the magic mirror, "Who is the fairest of all?" But the mirror replied again, "It's Snow White." The queen was outraged. "The huntsman lied me, so I had to take care of myself." The queen ran down the stairs to a dark dungeon room where she has kept some assorted powders and bubbling liquids. She quickly mixed and she drank, and suddenly she changed into an old, ugly woman. Then she cast a magic spell over a Lucius apple. One bite of this poison apple caused Snow White to sleep forever. She planned with, she cackled with glee. That night at the cottage, Snow White prepared a special meal for the 7 dwarfs. All the 7 dwarfs ate the dinner happily. happily and they started to dance with the instruments with Snow White. Next day morning, when these dwarfs started to go for work, Snow White gave a lovely kiss to all the dwarfs and she wagged her hands to all of them. These dwarfs asked Snow White to be very careful with the strangers by closing the door inside the cottage. But as soon as she entered inside to make the pie, one sound came from the window. All alone, my pet. Snow White turned at the back and saw an old woman. How would you like to taste one of my nice apples? She asked. Snow White was so happy to see the apple. She tempted to eat that apple, so she collected one from her hand. As she gave a bite, she fell down on the ground. The animals recognized that old woman as the queen, but Snow White didn't. This old woman said, only love's first kiss can make her awake from sleep. Ha ha ha, cackled the queen. Now my princess, you will sleep forever. And she moved from the animals, hurried to the mine to meet the dwarfs, and they tucked them and they informed that something terrible thing has happened in the house. So all of them, the dwarfs, jumped onto the deer and they reached the cottage first. On their way, they spotted the old woman who is disguised. So they chased the queen until she reaches the top of the cliff. The queen reached the end of the cliff and was trapped on a narrow edge. She was about to push a huge boulder over the 7 dwarfs, but a bolt of lightning struck the ledge. With a horrible scream, she fell down on the rocks down. When the dwarfs finally arrived home, they saw Snow White lying down on the ground. Tears in their eyes, they gently lifted Snow White to her bed. The next morning, the dwarfs built a golden casket for Snow White. They carried the casket to the peaceful glen in the middle of the forest. For many days, the dwarfs stayed next to Snow White. All of a sudden, on one day, the lonely prince was searching for the Snow White, and he came to the forest and he saw the casket and he opened the glass lid and finally he saw Snow White lying there. He lifted her and he kissed the sleeping princess. Snow White opened her eyes now. This time the Snow White was not afraid of this handsome prince. She said goodbye to the dwarfs. She said, you have been good friends. I will never forget you in my life. She waved her hands to the 7 dwarfs and she moved away with the prince. So, what is the moral you understand from this story? There are so many lessons we need to learn from this story. The first lesson is, if you are beautiful, you don't think that there is no problem. The second moral is, life will move more better if you have good friends. The third lesson we learn from this story is, if you have goodness, it will surely appeal to everyone around you. The fourth lesson we learn from this story is, no matter what work you do, the most important thing is you should enjoy doing your work. Fifth moral we learn from this story is, jealous can kill you. Don't be jealous. Enhance yourself to improve yourself as a better person. Love wins everything. So spread love and love yourself also. The seventh moral you learn from the story is, someone is there always to help you. You should believe that God is there. The eighth moral you learn from the story is, beauty is not in anyone's face. It is in the heart of everyone. It is more about a good heart. So when you listen to a story, you should understand the moral lessons which is present inside any of the story. I think everyone loved. I'll be catching you with interesting stories like this soon. Until then, bye from your Zuma Selvakumar. Thank you. Have a nice day.